Lakeside Dental Clinic, Go Island, is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic.
The people behind me are walking the Labyrinth here at the Bethlehem Retreat Center near Westwood Lake in Nanaimo. A labyrinth is a walking meditation, but did you know that there's also such thing as a finger labyrinth? It's true. We're looking at that today on Go. Ending stigmas around disability, an app for cyclists and high school students tying into the community. This finger labyrinth, along with about 2,000 others, was handcrafted by a man named Bill Godden. He lives in Surrey. He's 90 years old, and they are all replicas of labyrinths that exist around the world. About 30 of the most notable are being collected and presented in a museum here at the Bethlehem Retreat Center. It will be the world's first Finger Labyrinth Museum. We're looking into all of that and more today on Go Island. But we're throwing things over first of all to Kelly Robinson. She's spending some time with Corey Parsons. He's a notable cook, a cookbook author and publisher, and a very inspiring man. This is one of Bill Godden's finger labyrinths, and this is a seven-step Seven-circuit labyrinth. Holly Carnegie Letcher is an occupational therapist and a labyrinth facilitator. What is it about the process of just running your finger through a pattern that is healing?
Well, first of all, using this finger labyrinth is very relaxing. So it can bring you into a deep state of meditation, can allow you to access, go into a theta brainwave state or alpha and theta brainwave state, either one. The finger labyrinth can be used as a physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual tool, and all of the above as well. Using it engages both right and left hemispheres of the brain. It allows for what's called brain synchrony, some balance in both sides of the brain. Mm-hmm. Can bring us into a deep state of relaxation. So, you know, the finger labyrinth and the walking meditation labyrinth have very similar, you can have a very similar experience. I
think I have a lesson because as I get closer to the middle on the first round, I'm like, oh, I'm done. No, I'm going the wrong way. I'm supposed to be finished.
So here we go. Beautiful.
So that's a lesson in patience.
So exactly. And also the labyrinth is known as a metaphor for life. So as you're experiencing your
feeling like I'm going backwards. I was close to the middle, but now I've got to go away from the middle.
That's right. And so similar to our journey in life is, oh, I'm almost at my goal. I've almost reached that, what I'm heading for, and then suddenly get thrown for a loop, and you're way on the outer ring, and you're like, how did I get here? But trusting that if you continue to put one foot in front of the other, or you continue to trace the path with your finger, you will eventually get to where you need to go.
Sort of just seeing the destination, not actually being there, and then being taken farther away from it.
That's right. And yet being allowed to trust the fact that there's only one path in. It will take you to the center eventually, and you will take the very, very same pathway out. So it's a good exercise in trust. It's a great exercise in just allowing that that the mind that often brings forth anxiety and what's next and how am I going to get this done, or
taking shortcuts, giving up maybe.
Exactly. It's just knowing that you can do it and you will get to where you need to go, and you have to believe in yourself. Right. And so it's very much a hopeful tool.
And trust the process. Okay, we're going to be back. We'll talk more about finger labyrinths and a museum opening here at the Bethlehem Retreat Center after a short break. University students make an app for cyclists, lunchtime knitting with some high school kids, and rapid fire with the Nanaimo Clippers. This finger labyrinth is a replica of one founded in Egypt or Babylon in about 400 BC on a tablet. It's actually 2-in-1 with separate entrances, quite rare, and it is one of many that will be on display in the world's first Finger Labyrinth Museum. There's a grand opening that you are invited to, taking place here at the Bethlehem Retreat Center on the spring equinox. That's March the 21st from 1 until 4. We're going to head down to Victoria now. You might look at bike paths as a type of labyrinth. Meg Cuthbert is introducing us to some UVic students who have developed an app to help make sense of those pathways when you're riding a bicycle. Tom Grauman is with the Bethlehem Retreat Center. He's the one that called me up and let me know that they were opening the world's first Finger Labyrinth Museum. That opening is taking place on March the 21st. How is the Bethlehem Retreat Center connected to labyrinths, or vice versa?
Well, this is a place that's been around for many decades in Nanaimo, and it's a place that people come to find peace and to heal and things like that. And the whole idea is that then you re-enter the world. Right. After you've had that experience and carry on with whatever you do.
So similar to a labyrinth is that you walk in, you find a center, your center, and you take that out.
Precisely. And so the labyrinth outside is something that we've had for some time. People come and use it. They don't pay.
You don't have to make an appointment. You can just show up and do it.
It's a resource for Nanaimo, and many people come and use it that way.
Excellent. Now, you saw some people, you were using it like you do on an almost weekly basis?
More often
than that. And as you were coming out, you ran into a couple of people.
There were a couple of people waiting for me to come out, and they went in, and it was apparently a mom and her teenage daughter, and they were having kind of a little snippy exchange, as is typical of that kind of a relationship. Yeah. And they went into the labyrinth and became silent and did this together at their own paces. And eventually they finished their experience there, and they were on their way in a much better state of mind.
Excellent.
And we're happy that the labyrinth gets that kind of use.
Mm-hmm. Power in the simplicity, and much better than a timeout where you're probably just going to come out of your corner a little angrier than you were when you went in. Not so when you experience a labyrinth. We're going to throw things over now to Fiona Shedden. She's hanging out with some high school students, and they're knitting. The Clippers are in the middle of the second round of playoffs with the Powell River Kings. You can get full details on upcoming games and how many are left online, www.nanaimoclippers.com. We're joining Holly once again to learn more about this man named Bill, 90 years old, has created more than 2,000 finger labyrinths, many of which will be displayed here at a museum, as we've told you about. But your first interaction, you tried to buy some from him for your occupational therapy work?
Yes.
And he wouldn't let you. He said no.
That's right. That's right. So I had been purchasing finger labyrinths from the States for clients and to use with in therapy. And it was getting very expensive to ship them in, so I was asking around, and some of the local labyrinth folks directed me to Bill. And so I called him up. I said, could I buy some from you? And so he said, well, I give them away. And I've been making them he's been making them for over 10 years, since he first did a course in Vancouver. When he learned about labyrinths.
And he spent a lot of time researching. I mean, these just aren't off the top of his head, and he certainly hasn't experienced all of these labyrinths personally, because they come from all over the world.
That's right. And some of them don't even exist anymore. Some of them have been destroyed, and very historical, but they've been found in documents. He's replicated all of these here. He's created them, and the people that have been doing labyrinth work on the island, Bill continues to bring us boxfuls of labyrinths, and we share them all over the world. So I take them, they're in Europe, they're in South America, they're all throughout the US and Canada. We have all up and down the island, of course. People have received gifts from Bill. They're in hospices, hospitals, senior centers, schools. They're for all ages.
Excellent. And which one is this? Is this a...
this one is just one of his, yes, a 5-circuit. This one's a 5-circuit. Bill also marks the number on the back. And
wow. So this is number 2,587?
That's correct. And he completed this in 2013.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's
and
very
Bill's going to
exciting
be
to
here
share
at
these.
the opening on March 21st. He will be here. He is 90, so it was no easy task, but it's important for him to be here for the opening of the museum. We're going to throw things over now to Daphne Good. She's introducing us to a woman who takes family heirlooms, chops them up, cuts them up, and turns them into jewelry. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. It's been wonderful spending time here at the Bethlehem Retreat Center, and they've given me my own finger labyrinth to take home. So thank you, Holly, and thank you, Bill. Holly will be speaking and Bill will be in attendance at the official opening of the Bethlehem Retreat Center's brand new Finger Labyrinth Museum. That's on March the 21st from 1 until 4, and Holly will be announcing some of the labyrinth workshops that she will be giving, everything from grief to building strength and building relationships. The possibilities for growth around labyrinths is endless. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. It's just so beautiful here. It's a different person coming in than when we're going out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Lakeside Dental Clinic Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic, a division of the Vancouver Island Implant Center, delivering dental services, including dental implants and sedation dentistry, all under one roof. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.